red, but after that it's green all the way mpaka Pangani interchange, ile bottleneck pale kama kawaida. Kiambu Road, it's only that area around Pangani that could be causing a problem. Jogoo Road getting busy, usual places pale Makadara. After that it's green, smooth all the way into town. At ile area pale Haile Selassie Avenue, slow this morning, nothing much like what we've seen. Areas around Machakos bus station not busy at all. Outer Ring Road also green on both sides of the road. Heading towards Donholm from further, it's green all the way. Mombasa Road looking good all the way into the CBD, and the other roads looking green all the way as well. So it's a fairly easy traffic morning
all right.
in Nairobi.
Let's have the quote of the day.
What you do today matters. Even the smallest actions have the power to shape your tomorrow. Stay consistent, stay focused, and let time amplify your efforts.
All right, let's come back and take a look at our local dailies now, and we start off with this one. Kenya strikes gold, 680 billion shilling worth, and they have the map of Ikolomani. You know Ikolomani comes from a gold mine. A gold mine, Ikolomani, yes. So yes, we've always known there's gold there, but now a British firm says there's a lot more. Yes, so the mining firm projects it will need to acquire over 300 acres of land in that area in a move that will affect about 800 households. But of course, they'll have to be paid. This whole area of Ikolomani, yes, if at all 800 households will be affected, 300 acres of land, I know most people there don't even own an acre. It's about half an acre or smaller. So yes, indeed, those people could be in for a windfall.
Na kama hakuna gold, ama it's guaranteed it's there?
No, you see, once you acquire this land, you have to pay them first. Hautasema ati unaenda uko chini kuprospect alafu ukipata ndo utakuja kuwalipa. No. If you're going to get this land, so you clear with everyone who's on top of it. Yeah. So, rich lord. Residents of Isulu and Bushiangala in Ikolomani, Kakamega County are on the verge of a windfall. A British firm has revealed massive gold deposits in the area and is now seeking clearance to mine the precious metal in a venture that promises a fortune for the investor, country, county, and local communities. Nyiwa mnasema ati watu kutoka hiyo area wamekuja huku kufanya kazi hivi hivi. Sasa watu wanarudi huko, kuna Ikolomine huko. Ikolomine. Hata inaona sasa mtamuona akisema ati amewacha kazi. Anyway, so this is a British firm, Shanta Gold Kenya Limited. It's lining up about 26 billion shillings, close to 27 billion, for underground mining of gold in Kakamega, with the deposits of the precious metal currently valued at 683 billion. Yeah. Ikipatikana, definitely this is a game changer. You know, we've been talking about how Kenya has been found to be engaging in as a transit point for gold that we do not know comes from where. DRC, Sudan, and other areas. Now we have our own gold. We'll be exporting gold all the way. Gold made in Kakamega, Ikolomine. Yes, interesting there. And national and county governments as well as local residents to benefit in massive venture. But the problem is, and you've seen such mining ventures, maybe not for gold, but titanium and other things at the coast, and the kind of problems they bring. And residents rarely benefit directly. I hope this will be different for my people from Ikolomine, so that we can have Inonda go back there, wachane na mambo ya Manu, aende atafute pesa ingine.
Viewer anashangaa Inonda. Inonda is the director.
Inonda is our director. Anapigaga kelele ya Manu sana, kila sana. There's another very interesting story here. Court has awarded a teacher 5.1 million for negligence during surgery. Story on page 2 of the Daily Nation. Hapa watu wanapata tu pesa. Wengine wanapata gold huko Ikolomine, wengine wanapata pesa huko.
Unaona venye hiyo makasi inakaa very big and that.
Iliwachwa ndani ya tumbo.
Imagine. The pain.
You can imagine once that, and you can't even move. You can imagine turning as you sleep, and then there's a piece of metal inside in saulika kule ndani.
Because it's literally in the corner.
Yes. Anyway, at least he survived. Back to the front page, other quick stories here. Ghost learners, that's a question. Blame ministry, not us, says teachers. Public primary school heads have accused the Ministry of Education of inflating enrollment figures and creating ghost students and learning institutions, a situation that has led to the loss of 4 billion shillings in funding. And this could actually be a bigger story, that this is fraud planned from the highest levels within the education ministry. Because what they do is that they say, kuna shule mahali, na iko na students this number, kwa hivyo capitation has to go towards that school depending on the number of students. Kumbe they do not exist. Ama hata shule yenyewe does not exist. Hiyo pesa inaenda wapi? Kwa mifuko ya watu. So walimu wanasema hapana, sio sisi, it is a ministry. Elsewhere, inside 558 million shilling SHA hospital payment fraud. Fraud kwingine. Fraud education, fraud health. Lakini at least we have gold in a coal mine. The quick highlights here. Yes, tumeongelelea ya mwalimu kupata shilingi milioni 5 sababu ya negligence during surgery. Watu wanaenda surgery wakitumia chat GTP. GPT ama GTP?
Is it GPT?
Chat GPT.
GPT. Chat GTP. GPT.
That's why. Alafu wanaacha makasi ndani ya mtu. Unfortunate sana. Police boss in Freshwa with commission of a retirement age. Watu wanasema IG akifika 60 aende nyumbani, asema wewe acha hii kazi inafaa wazee. Kule nyuma Obama carries Gabon playoffs hopes, na sasa watu wanafanya ni World Cup qualifiers inaendelea. So Super Eagles go into the game as better side as Cameroon face DRC in another clash in Rabat. So different countries trying to qualify for the 2026 World Cup. Sisi ni kama tulitolewa kitambo, si ndio? Sasa tuko na friendly na Senegal. Tuko hapo tu. Tuko tu. Anyway, that's the Daily Nation. And those are the main stories today.
All right. The Standard, see, hear no evil. Still matters education. TSC wrote, and Kenya's largest employer of educators, the Teacher Service Commission, stands accused of turning the country's classrooms into cash cows for corrupt officials. The collusion of field officers to those at the headquarters reeks from job bribes and politicized recruitments to ethnic favoritism and stalled promotions. An EACC report paints a damning picture of rot and dysfunction inside the very body meant to safeguard teachers' welfare. As technology fails, morale plummets and unions cry foul, the question lingers, who will teach integrity when tutors are themselves under siege, under siege? So the issues are rampant corruption, bribes demanded for jobs promotions and transfers, with TSC ranked among Kenya's most graft-ridden institutions. Inefficiency and bias, they say portal failures, stalled promotions, and alleged ethnic and political favoritism in recruitment and advancement. And 3, teacher frustration, they say poor service delivery, unfair transfers, and exploitative internship terms, eroding morale and trust in the commission. And they just opposed this headline with a story they covered on the 11th of this month, that is yesterday, where they said principles from hell. The story has been covered on page 4. Teachers say the leadership has failed to address their issues, even as EACC says commission is wanting. And from issues of tribalism to corruption, commission has a lot on its plate. So at a glance, Teacher Service Commission employs over 406,000 teachers as of April 2024, and recent government plans aim to increase this number significantly, with a goal of hiring an additional 24,000 teachers by January of 2026, which will bring the total close to 100,000 new hires since 2022. That's the only story covered on the front page of the Standard. Tukiangalia ndani on page 2, how principals, students and exam officials collude to cheat matters KCSE. They say some head teachers have been sacked as center managers for malpractices, and some schools are mounting projectors to display answers to candidates. Primary school heads reject push to move JSS. The story on page 3 says luxury Dubai yacht held in Kilifi as tourist safari in Masai Mara. Hii kitu niliona pale social media and there were a lot of speculations ya mwenyewe. They say its detention drew national attention and speculation among Kenyans online. Officials later confirmed it posed no risk, only procedural docking clearance issues. On the back page, how do African World Cup playoffs work as battle kicks off? Only one of DR Congo, Cameroon, Nigeria and Gabon will have the chance to reach the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and Africa playoff winners will progress to a 6-team intercontinental qualifier next year. That's the standard.
All right, there's another story on inside pages of the Daily Nation that we skipped. It's about ODM and their anniversary. So the anniversary kicks off tomorrow in Mombasa. It's a 4-day event, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Now even the president is expected to attend. So this is a renewed fight for the heart and soul of ODM. Anakwambia ile siasa ODM inaenda kuchacha huko, waacha tu.
It's a story on page 7.
Yes.
Daily Nation.
Interesting. Kenya yaangukia dhahabu ndio habari kuu pale kwenye ukurasa wa mbele wa Taifa Leo, na unakumbuka hao watu wa Kolomani wamekuwa wakitafuta dhahabu kwa miaka mingi sana na wanapata, lakini kidogo kidogo. Sasa Kenya hatimaye yajiunga na mataifa yanayovuna mabilioni kutokana na madini ya dhahabu kaunti ya Kakamega. This is a game changer. I don't know why by the way. I'm just smiling.
Nimekuwa nikishangaa story inakupata tu.
Hii story inanifurahisha sana. So wasema kwa miaka mingi ripoti za wataalamu zimeonyesha kwamba Kenya ina utajiri wa madini hasa dhahabu katika eneo la magharibi mwa nchi. Na sasa kampuni ya Uingereza hivi karibuni itaanza kuchimba migodi ya thamani ya mabilioni ya fedha. You know, fine, it is prospecting for gold, but if they're allowed, it's just how massive this will mean. How big of a windfall it will be for the households that will be affected, because they have to tell everyone, please, you have to exit. 800 households, for them to move, that is quick money for all of them. Money that they've never seen in their lives.
Wow.
Yes. So I'm happy for them. Habari zingine hapa kwenye ukurasa wa mbele, makomando kutumwa Baragoi. Watasimamia operesheni mpya ya kabiliana na wizi wa mifugo na kutoa silaha haramu. ODM wahubiri amani kabla ya sherehe. Wanasiasa Mombasa waimarisha wito wa umoja miongoni mwa wanachama kwenye vikao. Sherehe zinaanza kesho. Miaka 20 ya ODM kule Mombasa. Vinara wa Chadema sasa huru, waliachiliwa jana. Wanasiasa 4 wakuu wa upinzani pamoja na ule John Heche alikuja Kenya mazishi ya Raila Odinga akasimamishwa pale. Ilikuwa wapi? Isabani ama ilikuwa wapi pale? Pinzani Tanzania akiwemo Heche waachiliwa. Pale juu Kanja MPSC wavutana kuhusu umri. Tume yataka IG na manaibu wastaafu wakiwa na umri wa miaka 60. Lakini Kanja anasema hapana, bado tuko na uwezo wa kufanya kazi na kuendelea. Kwenye spoti, England na Serbia gozi la burudani. Three Lions walianza kwa mwendo wa kobe, lakini mashabiki wanatumaini. Habari kamili kwenye ukurasa wa 20 gazeti hili. Lakini Kenya yaangukia dhahabu.
Kakamega yaangukia dhahabu.
Kakamega tu.
Okay, Business Daily. Teki loses 1.1 billion shillings pay in M-Pesa apps ownership row, and says software developer has missed out on a substantial payday after the High Court reversed a 1.1 billion shillings compensation for his ideas, which Safaricom partly used to develop 2 M-Pesa apps.
That's sad. He had been awarded 1.1 billion shillings.
Imagine. The High Court yesterday overturned the award to Samuel Wanjohi through Popote Innovations, ruling that the Teki lacked a signed contract with Safaricom to deserve the 1.1 billion shillings payout. That's your sign to sign contracts.
That's a sad state of affairs. He had been awarded 1.1 billion shillings.
Oh, yeah.
So they're not disputing that his ideas were used. They're just saying, okay, fine, yes, your ideas were used, but we can't pay you because you do not have a signed contract.
Ni contract hauna.
We.
And he's here on the front page, Samuel Wanjohi, founder and director of Popote Innovation.
Yeye ni sura ya mtu ametokwa na 1.1 billion.
11 reforms behind World Bank freeze of a 96 billion shillings Kenyan loan. There's another story on page 2, and they say the World Bank has listed 7 laws and 4 policy reforms it wants implemented before it can release a 96.9 billion shillings loan to Kenya. On the ticker, State Farm's targeted for merger to spend 118 billion shillings in salaries. AFA bans harvest trade of macadamia to protect quality. That is the Agriculture and Food Authority. They say it has banned the harvest and trade of locally produced macadamia nuts for 2.5 months, citing immature crop development. Macadamia inakuanga uko Nyeri sana.
Clearly ulikuwa Nyeri hivi majuzi.
Always in Nyeri. Uchumi posts rare profit on rental income is another story on page 6.
Uchumi still exists. Many people may not know, but kumbe they rent out their former supermarkets.
Uchumi supermarket. That's the Business Daily.
All right. Do we have one more? Yes, People Daily. Inside Kenya's growing crime networks. Yes. So the score in 2021, 6.95. It went up to 7.02 in 2023, and in 2025, 7.18. That's a global organized crime index. So Kenya is 11th out of 193 countries, and as far as growing crime networks, 11th. Kidogo tu hivi tukue top 10.
Wow.
That's how good we are doing. We are 4th of 54 countries in Africa.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, we take the crown in East Africa. We are 1st of 9 countries in East Africa.
Good.
Sisi ni nani? Sisi. Walikuwa wanataka kutupatia namba zingine. Sisi lazima tukue number 1. In as far as growing crime networks. Kenya iko na kila kitu. The best businesses. Now we even have gold. Lakini, in as far as crime networks, we are doing well. Tuna represent. Hapa chini, they do a different story about young tax eyeing 2027. Generation challenges Ruto and the old guard. So they have images here of some politicians who've expressed intention to vie for different seats. Pale, of course, Boniface Mwangi amesema he's running for president. Professor Fred Ogola pia says he is running for president. Huyu SG, Edwin Sifuna, anasema katibu wa ODM. Lakini hajasema na run for president. Nafikiri anataka ku run for ni governor ama nini. Ama anataka tu ku retain hiyo seat yake ya Senate. So probably that story on page 6 about how young Kenyans are changing the outlook of politics heading towards 2027. But at least we are number 1 out of 9 countries in East Africa in as far as growing crime networks.
Gangster paradise.
Yeah, gangster paradise. That's the People Daily.
Finally, the Star. Museveni threatens war with Kenya over Indian Ocean. Ethiopia locked in conflict with Somalia over similar dispute. Tuangalia Museveni anasema nini hapa. Anasema he warns of conflicts over Uganda's access to Indian Ocean. And speaking during a radio interview in Mbale City where he was campaigning, Museveni said blocking landlocked countries from access to the sea was madness, insisting Uganda was entitled to the Indian Ocean because of its economic and security needs.
But from where does he want to access that Indian Ocean? He can access it through Tanzania if he wants.
Okay.
He could also lay claim on the other side.
Anasema, how can you have a situation like this? Uganda is landlocked inside here, but where is my ocean? Where is my ocean? My ocean is the Indian Ocean. No. It belongs to this and this. This is madness.
You know, he used a different analogy that if you're living in a block of flats and you live maybe on the 5th floor, at now the person on the ground floor cannot claim that he's the one who has access to the compound, so the compound is his. The compound belongs to everyone on that block of flats. That's how he's arguing it.
Yeah.
But okay, fine. How do you access the ground floor? Anakasirikia nani? Hapo ndo nataka kujua. Hasira ni kwa nani?
Kenya.
You can have the Indian Ocean. Yeah.
Okay. Raila was long serving Gor patron until his death. Long-lived patron Gor Mahia paid tribute to Raila Odinga at Kang'o Kajaramogi in Bondo, Siaya County. Refugees stay at hunger after donor fund stop is another story on page 2. And how Sulumeti handled delicate Bomas discussions on power sharing. That is Bishop Philip Sulumeti, who died the day after yesterday.